Hello, everybody. This is Andie, and I continue talking to you guys out there, and would like to, if you like what I come across and think of, I would ask you to subscribe and like, and leave a request of a question you would like me to ponder on as far as healing or premonitions, insight, and also because I do a lot of pondering on deep thinking questions, and I am fortunate enough to have acquired this amazing, absolutely delicious opportunity to hear things at a different level at this time for the majority of us in the world. Um, but there's many of us, many of me out there that is doing the same work. And I believe that the work that we're doing in meditation and guiding our thinking gives us the opportunity to feed the internal intelligence that we each possess, that is in the process of uh, realizing itself from multiple cognitive distortions that we're getting at this time. We have to keep in mind that the planet and our astrologies are being affected by other planets that are changing signs after long cycles of times. And our cognitive adaptability and senses have acquired new adaptations. And we are moving into a moment that, as I was informing myself about the energy of Black Moon Lilith uh, being in Scorpio for the next 9 months, and having Neptune moving into Aries just a few weeks ago for its first ingress, and then having experienced Pluto in Aquarius for the last year and a half, we are in tremendous changes, and on, and Uranus, and on, I would say. But we are all experiencing physical symptoms of fatigue. And last night, I'll give you an example. Last night I was unable to sleep and started to feel tormented, and like really started to beat myself up with old primordial energy. I was the language that I used toward myself was really exhausting. Um, and that feeling of being in the primordial touch of consciousness. And I remember Black Moon Lilith represent in the history of humanity. Uh, she was there even prior Mary and all of the other goddesses. Lilith is a primordial mitochondria that I could imagine. It is the Black Madonna. It is everything that is on this planet has to do with mitochondria. And as we've had millions of years of history in physical body, but also in our etheric consciousness. And 30 years ago, the internet was made available to masses. And we are participating in creating a new momentum in consciousness. So I'm someone that meditate and practice and hear messages at this time that are asking me to come out here and talk about this amazing new moment as a devotee of learning metaphysical content and experiencing the astrology. I have been keeping diaries, dailies of certain effect in certain degrees, and realizing through these studies that I joyfully, dutifully put myself through to understand, so I can actually understand my next incarnation and my next year, my next couple of years, however long we are here for. But I'm fortunate enough to have had time to meditate and be silent, and understanding that when we're watching all of these outer planets coming in, we're experiencing this new mechanism of perception that we've been developing through all ages. Many of us that follows this kind of talks that I was speaking of as far as primordial energy, and is that as we are being contorted at this moment, one thing that I did hear was, I was listening to this amazing program on Makara.us that I've been following and redoing, because it is an actual exercise on how to become more conscious with yourself. It's available on Makara.us, and it's called Initiation, and you should just give yourself a chance to have a plan forward that can actually indicate ways of thinking that you would not have ever been able to process without this kind of content. And I practice it. I do it. I've been doing this for a long time now. So we want to keep in mind that at this very moment, as the world is on fire, as it appears to be on fire, and we are being devastated all over the world. It's not just, it's quite interesting. It has been going on really significantly with Jupiterian energy for really the last decade. It's in our face. And so who are we becoming as human? We're at this moment, we're going to a cognitive distortion. Lilith going into the Scorpio house, the 8th house, the house of debt, the house of pain, the house of knowing what it takes to get this done, inch by inch or breath by breath in many of us different lifetimes. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. So as we are entering this new age of revelation, we are continuing to experience at this moment what I would reference to as the age of revelation. We're being revealed. And the universe is revealing to us really the atrocities and old, ancient audacities that has been imposed on humanity for too long. So as we are wanting a rain cloud of noble things, that is what awakened souls seek. Well, this is a moment that I want all of us to practice and know that for the next 9 months, it's like a birth. We're entering, like we just found out we're pregnant into these miserable awareness that we have to get involved with, but we can't do it all. So we have to pick, just like in our astrologies, when we're born, we are born with 3 different houses of 30 years each that we have access to. There might be a couple of different houses, but that is your path in this journey, in this lifetime. So knowing that at this time, it is our responsibility to understand that all of these distortions that we are being met with, many of those distortions are more significant to certain people that have the ability, better skills, better identities with the circumstances that can reveal these effects in our world, where we can know of it, but we don't have full-time time to participate with it. Then we have to pick a couple, and we have to share the burden of awakening massively and quickly at this time. So Lilith for the next 9 months being in Scorpio, and having, and in the same time we will be changing a few other planets, and Neptune moving deeper into Aries as Pluto has passed the 3rd degree that was reflected through the Pope's death of Aquarius, the significance of that in metaphysical thought or esoteric thinking. So we're being injected or inflected with some new mechanisms, and these mechanisms are giving and assisting us of new perceptions. More and more and more and more of us understand that we live in a very triangular geometric form lifetime. Number 3 is a very, very significant model for our world. And at this time, as these distortions are felt within us, our sacral energy, our prana, is really being affected. And our gut system, our astral connection. So it's really it's really important that we are also capable to ingest and consummate the ending of retrospection. We are ending all the times for the last 30 years where we pondered our innate childhood, our poor me attitudes, and what am I going to do with my life? Who am I becoming? All of this, I can guarantee you, from somebody that was the most vain, very limited, sometimes very much so in one way of surviving in this lifetime. I can remember that coming from a childhood of not extreme abuse, and I can also affirm that I am so understanding and ready for the time of this Lilith going through Scorpio energy. Because last night when I got hit with, you really fucked up, what have you done to your life, where were you useful at, I mean, I could not even open the doors to be able to see what was any of this had any effect anywhere. It was really incredible moment in the early hours of the morning. It was just conceding, okay, well, that's just that's what it is. And then I remembered, oh, Lilith. Oh, Lilith. Lilith being the primordial energy, because I've always, I can guarantee you that through my entire life, I have over-sacrificed for unknown reasons of mine at this point, because if I have to reason with some deal of over sacrificing I've done in my life, it really doesn't make sense. Okay, it only comes from a very limited perception. And we all go through this, but fortunately we do mature and we move on. And you can hopefully laugh about it. So this moment we're living in, we're feeling this amazing primordial essence of Lilith. And a couple of years ago, when Venus was retrograding through the house of Leo for like 7 months, I mean, so much happened when that happened about 18 months, 2 years ago. Ever since then, we've been experiencing a parade of huge primordial to the core cracking of our nervous systems, our central nervous system. And right now we are at that supersonic energy. Mars is in Leo. Pluto is in Aquarius, and they're about to really oppose each other and go over that retrograde effect that Mars was in Leo when it first started this journey of really side effects of wrong thinking. So as we are moving forward in the next 9 months, we have to really nurture as that segment of the planet that thinks of those things, because we are affecting the results in the outer world. So the free will that is being attacked in today's world is what we have access to right now, is us exchanging and talking to each other and starting to have new perceptions. We are shifting our mechanism of perception from the density of materialism to the lightness of your consciousness, of your abilities, of your skills, of producing your own opportunities, no matter how difficult it is. I could choose to speak about current events, and I must tell you that I have too much to say, and I would get lost in the avalanches of poison on there. We've been slowly but surely poisoned through this last breath of dark, and it's nothing against dark, okay? Because I really appreciate darkness, in the meaning of from its true creativity. In the cosmos, in the black hole, in what we will have access in many, many futures ahead of us. But while we are in this circuitry right now, with our wiring system, and these amazing new babies are being born, and we have to take care of this planet, we are in a moment of cycle of time that this Lilith in Scorpio is going to help us perceive and shed a lot of these old crazy indigestions. So I would also give you an example of a side effect that it comes physically with this purge. It is a purge, but it is also a purge of your own density. So you can expect, really beating yourself up mentally. You're letting go of that mental for people like me were many, many, many years. We beat it ourselves up and we couldn't let go of it. But now I have let go of it. And having it revisiting me last night was like, okay, this is not fun. This is like really pathetic. And I went through the whole litany of whatever it was. It was unacceptable. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. And I'm becoming useless with my own perception is all completely, screwed or skewed, excuse me. So, having practice initiation, meditation, and practice healing and practice what I do, it is so much fun to be able to come out here and speak of that. So this is important that we are understanding. This is we're giving birth to the essence of the Christ energy. We're not talking about a form, a man. We're talking about the Christ energy, the Essene energy. We're talking about the birth of the Christ in the cave of the heart. And these beautiful thought processors that we can sit down and take a moment and understand that each and every one of us, we create our own burning grounds. And that's something that really hit me today when I was listening to the fifth video of initiation on Makara. Every disciple creates its own burning grounds, and of course it does. We create our own burning grounds, meaning that whatever karma we came in here with, add these 3 houses in our chart that we will be traveling with certainty through this journey of life. Is going to be an interesting new way to think of, and also assisting a lot of us humans being able to imagine, okay, that's the trimester, the quadrant that I'm going into, these 3 houses that I have this journey to live with in future incarnation. I'm sure that we will be adapting ourselves to these routes, to these patterns of being astrologically, as having soul astrology. I can see that being part of the first step, that we can adjust through lifetime, understanding that these 3 houses that you're going to be traveling through in a lifetime, in a human lifetime, hopefully if you're lucky enough, gives you the chance to plan for a better organized outcome. We're here to have good journeys. So, and this is also a time that in all of this distortion that Lilith is going to put us through for the next 9 months, not even talking about the other effects of the other planets, we get to become mentally inclusive to ourselves, responsible to ourselves, because we're going through so many different paradigms, things to think about at the same time, that it can get confusing. So that's why I say we have to compartmentalize. We have to put in a room each subject that you want to work with. So I invite you to understand that this is also a time for a lot of us that we have to initiate group process. For me, group process is having to go out there and talk to you people, and meeting people in person, which sometimes I really should lessen. It's just difficult for me many times to go in crowds. I just feel too much of everybody's thinking, and many times it gets confusing. So having the opportunity to recognize these things and speak of it with all of you that have that knows that at this moment our hearts are opening and we're being concerned with the I am that we are heart open and concerned. I am, and we must discern this course correction. It is important for each and every one of us to discern it. We have the power to record these amazing astrological changes and to make video diaries or voice diaries of these events. And I think we owe it to our next generations. Astrology is going to be part of the future of humanity always. And it's only going to get better. We are recording ourselves in ways that we want to make a difference, even though some people out there are trying to kill history. We're here to make sure that history is there and that we preserve it. So I think that having a chance to speak with you guys tonight, I thank you. That's what I wrote down for today while I was doing all these meditations. Remember that we are here in this very primordial mitochondria time. And we're moving into a cycle where Neptune is moving into Aries after 165 years. And in those years, we have been seasoned, awakened, shaken to bring us to a place of choice and kindness. So most of us that comes here on earth to experience this life, we'd like to be able to realize that this wars of cruelties were going out there so that we can come back in a better world. Okay, so let's all love each other. And thank you for listening to me. I get a mess at the end of the day like this. Bye.